a father, a man who believed with every fiber of his being that if you worked hard enough, long enough, the land would reward you. And Samuel worked hard. Nobody in that village worked harder than Samuel. He was up before the sun every single morning, before the roosters, before the birds. His boots were on and his hands were in the soil while his neighbors were still turning in their sleep. He plowed longer. He watered more. He carried heavier loads than any other farmer around him. His wife, Martha, would stand at the door of their small farmhouse, watching him disappear into the fields in the early darkness, and whisper a quiet prayer. She had been whispering that prayer for 11 years. 11 years of hard work. 11 years of early mornings and aching backs and calloused hands. And 11 years of barely enough. The harvests came and went. Some years were decent, most were not. The soil in Samuel's section of the land was dry and stubborn. It drank water slowly and gave back even slower. But Samuel refused to accept this. He believed the answer was simply more effort, more hours, more sweat. So he gave more. He bought an extra plow. He woke up even earlier. He stayed out even later until Martha had to call him in from the dark fields with a lantern. But the results never matched the effort. Meanwhile, across the dirt road that separated their farms, lived a man named Joseph. Joseph was not the hardest worker in the village. Everyone knew this. He woke up later than Samuel. He took breaks during the hottest part of the day. He sat under trees and read old books. He walked his fields slowly, not frantically. He talked to other farmers in distant villages. He traveled once to the city for 3 whole days, and everyone laughed at him for wasting time. But Joseph's harvests were always full. His crops were always healthy. His soil was always rich. His family always had enough, and then some. This drove Samuel quietly mad. He could not understand it. He refused to understand it, because understanding it would mean accepting something he was not ready to accept. One dry August evening, Samuel sat on the wooden fence that separated their 2 farms. His body was exhausted. His hands were bleeding at the knuckles from a full day of aggressive plowing through resistant soil. His harvest that season had been the worst in 5 years. Joseph walked over slowly and leaned against the fence beside him. For a long moment, neither man spoke. Then Joseph said quietly, "Samuel, how deep are you plowing?" Samuel frowned. "Deep enough." "How are you watering?" "Every morning, same as always." Joseph nodded slowly. Then he said something Samuel would never forget. "Brother, you are the hardest working man I have ever seen in my life. I have watched you for 11 years, and I say this with all the respect I have for you. Your problem is not how much you work. Your problem is that you are working hard in the wrong direction." Samuel looked at him. "What do you mean?" Joseph turned and pointed to Samuel's field. "Your soil on the left side, near the stone wall, it gets almost no sun after midday. You've been planting your heaviest crops there for years. They need full sun. You are fighting the land instead of reading it." Samuel opened his mouth to argue, then closed it. "The right side of your field, near the riverbank," Joseph continued, "that soil is the richest on this entire road. You use it for walking paths. You are literally walking on your own gold every single day." Samuel felt something cold move through his chest. "My crops in the city," Joseph said. "I learned which ones sell for 3 times the price with half the growing effort. I studied the soil. I studied the seasons. I studied the market. I work less hours than you, Samuel, but every hour I work is pointed at the right target." The silence between them was heavy. Samuel looked out at his fields. 11 years. 11 years of bleeding hands and aching bones, and prayers whispered at the door by a tired wife. And he had been walking on his own gold the entire time. He said nothing that evening. He went inside. He sat at the kitchen table long after Martha and the children were asleep. And for the first time in 11 years, he did not think about how to work harder. He thought about how to work smarter. The next morning, Samuel did something he had never done before. He did not go straight to the fields. He sat with Joseph for 2 hours and listened, really listened. He swallowed his pride and asked questions he should have asked years ago. Then he walked his own land differently, slowly, studying it like a book instead of attacking it like an enemy. He moved his heavy crops to the sun's side. He cleared the rich riverside soil and planted his most valuable seeds there. He traveled once to the nearest town and learned which crops were selling high that season. He adjusted. He planned. He stopped doing things the way he had always done them, simply because that was the way he had always done them. He still worked hard. Samuel could never stop working hard. It was in his bones. But now the hard work had direction. That harvest, just 1 season later, was the best of his entire farming life. Martha stood at the door of their farmhouse and watched the wagons being loaded with more produce than they had ever seen. She did not whisper her prayer that evening. She wept it. And Samuel stood in the middle of his field at sunset, calloused hands at his sides, boots covered in good soil, and understood something that no amount of sweat could have taught him.
Hard work is the engine, but direction is the road. Without the road, the engine just burns. He had been burning for 11 years. Now he was finally moving. Samuel is not a weak man. Samuel is not a lazy man. Samuel is one of the most dedicated human beings you will ever hear about. And yet, for 11 years, he got almost nothing back. Because effort without direction is just exhaustion wearing the mask of progress. You might be Samuel right now, working early mornings, staying up late, giving everything you have, and still feeling like the results don't match the sacrifice. And you keep telling yourself the answer is to work even harder, to push even more, to give what little energy you have left. But what if the problem is not how hard you are working? What if you are plowing the wrong field? What if you are walking on your gold every single day and calling the wrong patch of dirt your future? Hard work will always be necessary. Never let anyone tell you otherwise. But hard work, kneeling at the feet of smart work, that is where lives change. That is where 11 years of nothing becomes 1 season of everything. Stop. Look at your field. Really look at it. Where is your sun side? Where is your rich soil? Where have you been walking on your own gold? Because the breakthrough you have been bleeding for is not hiding behind more hours. It is hiding behind a better question. Work hard, but work wise. The harvest you deserve is already waiting. You just have to plant in the right ground.